Hello all, it's the 10th of March 2018, you're here with Dan in Essex UK down the allotment. So I had some good temperatures today, been up to about 11 or 12 degrees C I believe, which is about 51 to 52 degrees Fahrenheit, so excellent. And on the 25th of March the daylight saving time begins, the clocks go forward an hour, so hopefully a bit of extra time in the evenings to work on your allotment, your garden, etc. So brilliant, and I thought I'd come down the allotment and have a look around, because as you know, well, last time I came down here it was in the snow, so it looks very different indeed. So looking at the brassicas now, excellent lot of brassicas here. We've got kale here, and some cabbages here. Now this is variety Nero di Toscana, and I do recommend growing this variety, and this was set last spring, late last spring, and look at it now, still cropping, so absolutely excellent. And some curly kale here. This could be dwarf curly kale or Vates blue curled kale, something along those lines, but brilliant. And I like to eat kale with apple cider vinegar, and I believe that's the apple cider vinegar acts as a liver tonic, so do your own research on that, don't take my word for it. But yeah, it just adds a lovely sort of tangy taste to it, and I really do like that. And over here we've got shallots, garlic and onions, so a nice bit of varieties there, all ready, well not ready yet, but they will be ready for eating in the summer. These were overwintered. Just waiting for this to come back in focus. There we go, excellent. And over here we've got the broad beans. Now broad beans are brilliant, you can put them in now, but one good thing about putting them in over the winter is what they do, you put them in to grow about late October, November time, and what they do is they get up about that size, and or about that size, whatever. And what they do is they overwinter, and when the weather warms up they start to grow. And I think it's nice to have them, you know, in the beds over the winter, because you can see some things in the beds and you can think, oh yeah, I've got something on the way. And I think that's worthwhile, even if it's just like a psychological advantage. But they do say that if you get them in early, they crop before the black fly, etc. But some people believe that, some people don't. But either way, broad beans are there. And one good thing with broad beans is there's modern day varieties, and in a lot of ways I recommend growing dwarf varieties, because big ones can get really big, like 5 or 6 foot tall, and they can proceed to blow over and fall over. Of course you can tie them up, but with dwarf varieties they're more likely to be self-supporting, and you know, people nowadays are busy, etc, etc, so you know, you can just put them in and wait for your crop. Now down here got 2 empty beds all ready for setting. Now I do recommend rhubarb, because it starts cropping very early. I don't know if it's considered a fruit or a vegetable, but either way it's nice in pies, isn't it? Nice in pies. And another one of my viewers was talking about a rhubarb and ginger jam, and I've never mentioned that before, but I do know that's particularly delicious, and you can start making that. So much you could do with rhubarb, you know, you can have it just boiled up. If you like things a bit sour, you can eat it on its own. You can add some nice honey with it, dare I say it. You can add a bit of sugar if you wish. Lots of things to do. And you know, as you can see, plenty here, and it's also starting to, well, it's been doing it for a while actually, produce crowns there and there, you see, so plenty of crowns as well. And we've got Swedes here. Look at them Swedes, absolutely fantastic there and there. Mashed Swede, there's something about mashed Swede, isn't there? A bit more rhubarb here. Okay, so over at the other allotment here, all been covered up, and got a big bed here, and I'm thinking of growing sweet corn here, maybe some squashes, some tomatoes, etc, etc. But yeah, or one plan I have considered is I do want to grow a lot of tomatoes this year. As you know, if you've been following my channel, I've set a lot of tomato seeds already, and I do like tomatoes. I do eat a lot of them. Very versatile. You can make your own soup, you can make your own tomato sauce, you can eat them on their own, and I really love tomatoes indeed. So over here, it's quite a long bed, again all covered up, and what I've thought about is several different options here. So the first one I thought is a whole row of Gardener's Delight tomatoes, some small little tangy ones, I find them delicious, and a row of Moneymaker here, all tied up on canes. And you think how many tomato plants I could get there? It'd be really fantastic, wouldn't it? And you know, relatively easy to weed, just hoeing in between, etc. Now here I've got some compost all underway. Let's have a look. Probably going to add to this year, and slowly just, you can see, look, it's starting to look really composty already, isn't it? And what I want to do is build that up, and then at the end of this year just dump a load of compost on the top of the beds and allow the worms next winter to take it in. So that's one plan. And here, now, there is a thing called the Three Sisters that probably heard about, but they say what you do is you set, it's just like a 3-tier gardening thing. And again, this is sort of a follow-on into my, you know, getting people into gardening, so to speak, and growing things in a small space. So what I've thought about doing is rows of sweet corn all the way along here, all that way, depending on how you want to look at it. And so you've got your sweet corn, and you grow runner beans up the sweet corn. And so they use them as the supports. Then at the bottom you have things like squashes. So you have squashes, marrows, courgettes, cucumbers, etc. Maybe, you know, gourds, whatever, all growing along. So you've got like a 3-tier gardening system, and I think that could be, it could add some interest, a bit of variety, just look a little bit different, and some nice, you know, just a way of saving a little bit of space. Now I walk over to here and got an unoccupied bed. So what I'm thinking of doing here is, just for simplicity, maybe setting it all with strawberries. Now I know that growing strawberries, you know, on the ground isn't necessarily the most, what's the term? I can't remember what the term is, but not the most best, one of the best ways of using space, because you can grow strawberries on tabletops, etc. And you've got to put straw down so that you know, the fruit doesn't touch the ground. But I thought about strawberries here, and I might just go for one variety, a nice simple design, something like Cambridge Favourite, or, you know, one of the good, well-established varieties of strawberries. And then of course you can take cuttings, etc. And so just have a strawberry bed here. Another bed here, not sure what I'm going to do with this one yet, still planning. There's a lot of work to do down here, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? And here we have got just some leeks carrying over from last year, so probably going to pick them and have them with a meal. So back to this other allotment, we've got purple sprouting broccoli here. I mean, look at that, look. Real bit of meat there, isn't there? That really has good size. And, you know, all this stuff here, this has survived all of that cold weather that we had, you know, -6, -7, -8, whatever it was. And, you know, it goes to show, you know, with a bit of planning, you can have stuff overwintering, have it down the allotment, and even, you know, after all that harsh weather, even late in the season, or early this season, and, you know, the end of last season, so to speak, you know what I'm talking about, you get you can still have all of this beautiful crop that you can eat even now. And this is what you want to be aiming for. You want to be aiming for having crops over a sustained period, because in the summer you can feed yourself relatively easily, but, you know, you want to be eating long term. Take care and speak soon.